Hi everyone, and welcome to today's video on the college application process tailored for the class of 2026. We're going to start with introductions for the post-secondary counselors. I'm Jordan Schroeder, and I am from Palatine High School.
Hi, I'm John Byam. I'm from Fremd High School.
Hi, I'm JC Brown. I'm from Conant High School.
Hi, I'm Reiko Akiyoshi from Schaumburg High School.
And I'm Patrick Evans. I'm at Hoffman Estates High School.
And each of the post-secondary counselors are going to talk a little bit today. We're going to start with the agenda and kind of going through the college application process. Like we said, this is specifically tailored for the class of 2026, so our rising seniors throughout the district. We're hoping to talk through and make you guys feel more comfortable about applying for college and all the questions that you might be having right now as this process begins. Here's the agenda for today. So we're going to talk about three major things, starting with planning for college. We're hoping that some of you have already thought about these plans, but if you haven't, that's okay. The purpose of today is to help you feel more confident as you are asking yourself questions. We're going to talk about finding the right fit, the admissions process, and also the application process. We're also going to talk about MaiaLearning, which is the District 211 college and career platform. We're going to talk about what it is, how you build your college and career list through there, how you apply to different schools through there, and then how you generate your list as early as this summer. And lastly, we're going to talk about senior year events. Throughout the year, counselors and the post-secondary counselors specifically will be giving a lot of information to seniors and families to help you feel confident throughout the application process. So we're going to begin with the college search, and there are a lot of questions that you may have when you are thinking about next steps for college. It can feel overwhelming, and we are aware of that. So we hope that this presentation will help ease a little bit of that anxiety and help you begin to think about the right questions as you go through the college search process. So we want you to feel comfortable in the fall as you begin applying for colleges. So we need to talk about finding the right fit. And there are a lot of things to think about as you are applying to college. So we're going to go through just a little bit in detail about each of these things. The first is the size. So there are schools that are extra small, which there are about 3,000 undergraduate students, all the way to extra large that have 40,000 plus undergraduate students. So you need to think about in what environment you feel comfortable. Also, the rigor of the school, that's something to consider. If you're taking AP honors and dual credit classes in high school and you find that rigor to be challenging but doable, that's something you probably want to continue in college. The distance. We talk with students a lot about the price, for one, of traveling to and from college. If you are going somewhere such as California, that's a flight for every break or every time you want to come home. If there's a place you need to go with a car and you don't have one, that's another expense. So having those conversations as a family is really important. The setting in the town, there's rural schools and also suburban schools, and then schools in big cities. So that's something also to think about. We really recommend getting out and visiting schools in these different types of settings to see what you're most comfortable with. Private versus public. So there's always benefits to each for private and public schools. They're offered all across the country. We just recommend that you do your research because sometimes costs can vary. Your major is very important. When you're applying for college, you might not know 100% what you want to do, and that's totally fine. But you want to think about, for the schools you're applying, that they have the idea of what you want to do. So for example, if you want to go into the medical field, but not sure exactly what you want to do, you want to do some research to make sure the schools you're applying for have a medical undergraduate or graduate degree. Social life and friends is also important. If you're interested in Greek life or clubs and activities on campus, doing research to see that those align with your interests. School environment and religion is something to consider. Special services, such as if you have an IEP or a 504 in high school and you want that to move through to college with you, you need to research and make sure those schools have an Office of Disabilities you can contact. Cost, as it says, don't let that prevent you from applying to this school. However, it is a conversation to have with your family. The cost of college is growing each year, but there are a lot of ways to get financial assistance through the government, local scholarships, private scholarships. So still apply, but just be realistic and have those conversations early. As I said earlier, visit these schools to see how you feel on campus. Some, like you said, are suburban, some are in bigger cities, so you won't really know until you're there. And lastly, meeting with college representatives that visit your school in the fall. Each of the high schools will have college representatives come from various universities. It's really important to go talk to these representatives to learn about their campus, what majors they have, what are the application requirements, and so on. So moving on to what colleges want to see. Here is a list of what is typically a college representative will want to see on your application. So first are your grades and your GPA. You can submit your weighted or your unweighted GPA. However, when we submit your transcript, they will see both. And if you're unsure of what to submit, talk to your school counselor. Typically, they say submit what GPA makes you look better. For course rigor, they want to see if you challenged yourself. If you were in all college preparatory classes, that is absolutely fine. They want to see that you are having good grades in those classes. If you challenged yourself with AP, dual credit, or honors, that is also excellent. Also wanting to see that you maintain good grades in those classes as well. For test scores, some schools are test optional. So if you choose to submit a test score, you can submit the ACT or the SAT. And then if it is test required, you will need to submit that score. Essays are sometimes required by the school, just depends. So another good reason to go to those college representative visits is you can ask the representatives what they're looking for in their essays if they require one. Letters of recommendation are also dependent on the school if they will need a letter of recommendation from your school counselor or a teacher, sponsor, or coach. Extracurriculars, they typically want to see at least 1 to 2 activities, especially with leadership roles. If you were a captain, if you helped the coach in any way, anything to show your leadership skills. And lastly, your student interests. So the application process, here's a little bit of a checklist to get you starting to think about what you can start doing this summer. The first is to research online application deadlines. Typically, the earliest application deadline is October 15th, and then the next one is November 1st. Also, you want to start looking at your transcript. These are an Infinite Campus, and your counselors will be sending those for you once you begin applying in the fall. Your test scores, as juniors, you took the ACT at your school. I will talk a little bit in a bit about if you want to retake that, but if you are satisfied with your score, just make sure that you know what it is so you can self-report it if necessary or send the score from the ACT website. Letters of recommendation, you can start researching in MaiaLearning and on school websites about if they are required, and if they are, you can start thinking about what teachers, coaches, or sponsors you want to ask. A personal statement or essay, if you are using the Common Application, which is very typical for students if they are applying to 2 or more large universities or just public universities, private, any of them. You can use the Common Application because it consolidates a lot of the information you have to enter multiple times. The Common Application personal statement or essay will open August 1st, so you can start prepping what you want to write so that when school begins, you can go get English tutoring or a second set of eyes to go through that essay or personal statement. Fees are important to be aware of. Each school requires typically an application fee. Sometimes there are waivers for those. And lastly, each school can also have an application checklist because not every school has the same requirements, so you can be on the lookout for those. The note is very important at the bottom of the slide that says only send what is required or optional. For example, if the school does not want a letter of recommendation on MaiaLearning, you cannot even choose to send it. So make sure that when you are doing the research, you see what you should send and what schools do not want. So moving on to testing. The ACT and the SAT are the 2 standardized tests that schools will take. As I said earlier, some schools are still test optional, other schools are test required, so you need to do the research to see what each school is looking for your test. This slide shows the national standardized testing dates for the summer and early fall. So the top 3 are the SAT and the bottom 3 are the ACT. The middle column shows when you need to register by, and this date is very firm. And the last column shows the actual testing date. There are 2 QR codes at the bottom you can use that will take you right to the registration page and also the websites if you want to pause the video and type those in, whichever is easiest for you. If you are satisfied with your score from the ACT you took in the spring, that's okay. But if you are not, you can choose to retest. Also, if you'd rather take the SAT, depending on a school you're applying to, you can sign up for that as well. And that is all for my part. I'm going to get over to Patrick Evans.
Now we're going to shift gears to one of your most important tools, MaiaLearning. This platform is going to help you research colleges and careers, track all of your applications, request important documents, and stay organized all senior year. It connects to the Common App and makes the process so much smoother. We'll walk you through exactly how it works and how to get the most out of it. MaiaLearning isn't just about college. It's about life after high school. So whether you're planning to attend college, go to the workforce, join the military, or explore different apprenticeships or vocational schools, MaiaLearning helps you plan your path. It truly is a one-stop shop for research, goal setting, and preparing for whatever comes next. So to talk a little bit more about MaiaLearning, it's our college and career platform where you can explore careers, complete personality assessments, manage all of your college applications. You can also use it to request transcripts, track your scholarships, and complete portions of the Common App. We encourage you to log in regularly and use it to keep yourself on track during your senior year. For students, here's a snapshot of all the things you can do within MaiaLearning. We recommend that you start with the interest and the personality assessments. They help you guide your career in college research. Then use the platform to search for colleges, register for different events such as college representative visits, build your portfolio, and other things. And you want to be on the lookout for frequent communication from your building's post-secondary counselor. This is your central hub for everything college related. So get comfortable using it now. It's going to help you in the future. Once you log in, this is an example of a student dashboard. This page will show you upcoming tasks, surveys, assignments, and different deadlines. You'll get reminders about things like completing your interest profiler or attending a college rep visit. Additionally, on the left-hand side, you'll see the other features MaiaLearning has to offer, such as career assessments, the college exploration tab, scholarships, and much more. One of the best ways to start your college planning is by taking or retaking different assessments. A great place to start is the interest profiler. It asks you questions about what you like and helps match those interests to potential careers. Once you complete it, you can view your results anytime and use your results to guide your college search. You can search for various colleges that offer those programs that match your interest profiler results. After completing your assessment, MaiaLearning then gives you career recommendations based on your interests. You can click on each one to learn more. You'll learn what the job involves, the required level of education for this specific career, the average salary, and the expected job outlook in the future. This is a great way to discover careers you may not have ever considered before. Now I'm going to pass it over to J.C. Brown to talk about exploring different universities.
Thanks, Patrick. Once you have an idea of your interests, it's time to explore universities that can help you get there. MaiaLearning lets you search for colleges based on location, major, size, selectivity, and more. Use this to deep dive into what each school offers. Don't just rely on name recognition. Look for schools that align with your goals and values. We recommend you identify 5 to 7 colleges that truly interest you. Use the heart icon in MaiaLearning to save them to your considering list. This isn't a final list, it's just your starting point. These schools should be a mix of reach schools, match schools, and safety options. This list will grow and change, and that's okay. It's all about starting the process now. When you click Considering, you'll see all the schools you've saved. This helps you keep track of deadlines, application requirements, and your status. You'll eventually move schools to the Applying and then Applied categories as you make progress. Keeping this list updated will help make things much easier in the fall. Let's talk about recommendations. Do not request letters until the first day of school. You may ask up to 3 teachers or recommenders, and you should always meet with them at least 4 weeks before your earliest deadline. Be thoughtful. Choose someone who knows you well and can speak to your strengths. Also, upload your completed brag sheet in MaiaLearning. It helps your recommenders tell your story in a meaningful way. The brag sheet is a tool that helps your recommenders learn more about you, what you're proud of, what challenges you've overcome, and what your goals are. Download the template, fill it out thoughtfully, and upload it to MaiaLearning. It's your chance to showcase things that might not appear on your transcript. So this slide is more for staff, but it's good for you to know that your teachers will be using MaiaLearning to submit their letters. That means it's important that your information in the system is up to date and accurate. Parents and guardians also have access to MaiaLearning. If their login has expired, they can reset it using the email tied to Infinite Campus. We encourage families to be involved in the exploration and planning process. It's helpful when everyone is on the same page, and this tool can support that communication. Through their accounts, families can view college lists, track application progress, and support your planning. They'll also receive important updates about events, deadlines, and resources. Encourage your family to log in and explore the platform. It's designed to be helpful for everyone involved. Here's a look at the parent dashboard. It's user-friendly and offers an overview of your progress, upcoming tasks, and important school events. Again, if they haven't used their account in a while, they can reset the password and jump back in. And now I'd like to turn it over to John Bima.
Thank you, JC. Now let's talk about one of the biggest questions families ask. How are we going to pay for college? Financial aid can come from many sources: federal and state governments, colleges themselves, and private scholarships. We're here to help you understand all of it, including FAFSA, merit aid, and need-based aid. Merit-based aid is based on things like GPA, test scores, extracurriculars, and application strength. It's often automatic, so when you apply, you also apply for those merit scholarships. Need-based aid, on the other hand, is based on your family's financial situation and is determined by the FAFSA. You could receive grants, loans, or work-study as part of this package. The easier you submit, or the earlier you submit the FAFSA, the better your chances at getting the best aid. Think of it as a big pile of money, and as people apply, it will slowly come down. The FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid, is a graduation requirement in Illinois. It should open on or around October 1st and needs to be completed by graduation. You'll need a FAFSA ID or an FSA ID for both the student and one parent, Social Security numbers, 2024 tax info, bank balances, and more. Get started on gathering these documents now. It'll save you stress later. For students who don't have a Social Security number, there's an alternative application for Illinois financial aid. It still satisfies the graduation requirement and allows access to state grants. There's also a non-participation form if your family decides not to submit either application, though you can always change your mind later. Schools will offer FAFSA workshops and help sessions this fall, so stay tuned. And here to tell you more about senior events is Reiko.
Thank you, John. All right, folks, so how can you prepare now? This is the point in time where you can start thinking ahead, start organizing your college list, brainstorm your essays, register for tests as needed, and build your calendar of deadlines. Planning in the summer gives you a big head start, and we'll be able to help you along the way. This slide serves as a visual pause. Use this moment to reset, take a deep breath, and think about one big takeaway from this entire presentation. What have you learned, and what are you going to be acting on? Whether it's making your college list or registering for a workshop, every step forward matters. This summer, we are offering hands-on in-person student workshops to help with the application process. You can choose from July 29th at Hoffman Estates High School or August 4th at Palatine High School, both from 9 a.m. to noon. You'll get some assistance with your college applications and your essays. These do fill up fast, so just make sure you are registering soon. Throughout your senior year as well, we'll host different college representative visits, group sessions, one-on-one counselor meetings, FAFSA hours, and different career tracks. All of these events and things will be posted in MaiaLearning, so please make sure you are checking that often. These events give you a chance to learn directly from colleges and get personalized help. We're also offering different evening events for students and families. These include an in-depth look at the college application process, financial aid sessions, and our first generation college night on September 25th. These events are designed to make sure every student, no matter their background, gets the information that they need. Again, here's our team of post-secondary counselors. We work at each of the district high schools and are here to support you along every step of the way. Please make sure you're reaching out with any questions. We love helping students reach their goals. And although the focus of this video was to begin the college application process, we know that college is not the only path for our students. Make sure to attend other exploratory events like those career tracks at your school this year to learn about all the options after high school.